Back in the early part of the 21st century, my esteemed companion Mr Ganley and myself decided to venture forth into foreign lands. Our travel agent advised Thailand to be an agreeable destination and booked us 2 tickets to Bangkok on super cheap airways. The pilot assured us the one remaining engine would have no trouble getting us to where we had to go. Indeed we are. We didn't quite reach Bangkok. Instead, we landed in a grassy field. Supercheap declared themselves out of business and promptly cancelled our non-refundable return tickets back to Australia. It was time to start walking and find out where we are. It appears we may have at least made it to Thailand. Our jungle surroundings are part of a huge intact monsoon forest, one of the largest remaining on mainland Asia, protected by the country's oldest national park. But there are more than just trees in this forest.
We're in the Ayutthaya National Park, moving along one of the trails, and Mr Ganley just over here on the track found a few interesting things. We found evidence that there's some elephants in the park. They've been coming through here. Looks like they've got a bit of a trail. You can see the tracks heading through the mud.
And of course, poo.
Seems a bit old.
The early morning calls of the gibbon. Long-armed, agile apes feeding on fruits. We've stumbled upon a little jungle stream and choose to follow it along. Terrible leeches infest the wetter parts of the forest. Eventually we chance upon a sealed road which leads us to a very full campsite where under a stormy sky we can pitch our tent. Due to the wet conditions overnight, Carney seeks refuge elsewhere. He has this to say.
You know how much sleep I've had tonight? The water truck. That was the tractors. They were going about 12:30. Bloody, the kitchen started at 4:45. 4:45. I've had every time Dick and Harry sleep and walking past him. The boys were jogging, the army's been running up and down training exercises. I've got about 3 hours. I don't know what, not sleeping, something.
And where are you at the moment?
Oh, I'm outside the toilets now. This is my ensuite. It's the ensuite to the whole campsite.
From Ayutthaya we catch a train to Ayutthaya, a spacious and well-ventilated journey bordering on comfortable. I try some of the local tucker while Carney hangs out the door of a moving carriage. Which is the more dangerous activity? Who can say? 3-wheeled tuk-tuks transport us into the central part of the city. From 1350 to 1767, Ayutthaya was Siam's capital, said to be a spectacular and dazzling city until it was sacked and plundered by those rascally Burmese. The restored ruins are a World Heritage Site that can be toured about on the back of an elephant. Thailand's wild elephant population may be less than 2,000 individuals. Many of their habituated friends work in the tourist industry, and riding them is a controversial subject. Sadly, it seems that as a rising human population plunders the habitat of these large creatures, they must adapt or perish. Thailand is justly famous for its food, and a stroll through the local markets is always worth the while.
Ganley, trust me on this.
It's the Himalaya.
No, I'm not going.
Highest places on earth are in Nepal.
I'm not going to the Himalaya, alright? It's bloody cold, it's hard. Hillary was a fool.
Fuck you, Foreman, for bringing me this fucking steep cunt of a joint.
Our next stop, Nepal's capital and surrounding area is home to over 2.5 million people. We arrive early-ish in the morning and catch a taxi into the tourist centre of town. Kathmandu is just starting to wake up and gain momentum. This is a rickshaw, and this is a rickshaw driver, a different way of getting about in the big city. Wandering through the tangled alleyways of Kathmandu reveals endless delights and a myriad of interesting odours. Photographing beggars unawares is near impossible. I'm now forced to part with some hard-earned coin.
Good. That'll be nice. Alright.
Swayambhunath is an ancient religious complex to be found on top of a big hill in Kathmandu Valley. It's also known as the Monkey Temple for some obscure reason, and according to some sources is a very important Buddhist pilgrimage destination. The holy Bagmati River has spiritual cleansing properties. On its banks is Pashupatinath, a very important Hindu temple and World Heritage Site. Many cremation ceremonies are held at this location. After exploring the city, we now have made a decision. We plan to tackle the Annapurna circuit. We've caught a bus that'll take us in the general direction of wherever it is we need to go. With steep drop-offs, excessive speed and overtaking on blind corners, the journey could be classified as an adrenaline sport.
It does require nerves and steel. Right,
I think this is the start of my downfall. There's no Mackie D's, no Dirty Bird.
Oh no, here we go.
These oranges are 2 cents too much. We've attracted the attention of a busker, not easy to be rid of. He's jumped on our connecting bus to keep the music alive.
Straight to Hollywood. Straight to Hollywood, mate. He's going there. He's going to be a star. He's found.
The village of Besisahar is the starting point for the Annapurna circuit. We are expecting a 3-week trek, and due to some limited facilities ahead, we've had to ensure our finances are adequate. A little taste of the public transport in more populated regions. The adventure begins. This world-class trail circumnavigates the impressive Annapurna range, mountains towering over 8,000 metres above sea level. The trail will pass through numerous villages that are well accommodated with guest houses and tea shops, making it a relatively civilised excursion. We stop at one for some boiled eggs and a cup of tea.
You should see the engineering feat of this balcony. We've been sitting out here having our dinner. You should come and have a look at this. She's a little bit rough. Two boats at about 200 kilos plus two packs with about 40 kilos.
We encounter a couple of fellows cooking up a goat on a big fire. Nicely charcoaled on the outside and no doubt raw and bloody on the in. But the goat is not the only thing roasting. A cremation is in progress, the family giving permission to document the event. An elderly woman has passed on and her remains given over to the flames. Bundles of straw are heaped atop the corpse to keep it covered and help with the burning. Narrow mountain trails get a bit congested at times when large herds of livestock are encountered. Burden-bearing donkeys carrying goods back and forth along the road, fearlessly crossing the long wire suspension bridges over the river. We're frequently meeting large numbers of goats. It's best just to stand aside as they pass.
Gurkha camouflage.
We find ourselves relaxing roadside, observing the daily lives of the Nepalese. Man and beast ploughing the fields, gathering hay. Yet it appears the true backbone of these mountainous rural economies are without doubt little old ladies. Whatever you need moving, whether it is huge quantities of wood, metal bed frames, or just big lumps of steel, Grandmother Logistics will get it there. One needs to be careful crossing the bridges slick with donkey poo. You don't want to slip.
Destination's down the valley. It's going to take us up the hill. I'm sort of thinking it's not going to climb too high, but my comrade Mr Ganley thinks to the contrary. Foreman, I think I can see a world of hurt going up them bloody hills.
Carney's sense of foresight is more accurate than mine. As we struggle up the steep inclines of the highlands, behind a mobile poultry farm, we meet the humbling scene of a human ambulance. A young man hauls his brother back home after being treated for a broken leg in a makeshift wooden contraption strapped to his head. Another longish day concludes at yet another small village. Higher up, it's getting a lot colder now. By late afternoon, the temperature plummets. However, with half a ton of wood on your back, you might not really notice.
Jesus Christ! Ooh, it's a pig! Look at a pig! That fucking thing stinks. It don't smell like a pig, it smells like fucking shock. Absolute shocking.
Yeah, the stinky pig! Yeah, the stinky pig!
Oh, that's about as much as I can handle.
The pig's owner seems immune to the horrible reek.
Can't watch.
A simple guest house. Gloomy, smoky, and a little chilly, but does the job. A cat napping in the street.
I think it's deep sleeping.
Namaste!
Due to deforestation, weather, and the steep incline, it's not unusual to find sections of the track gone, swept away in landslides. This one is very fresh. Mr Ganley negotiates the slimy, muddy terrain, trying not to disappear himself.
It's a bit slippery.
It's all rather nice.
It's hard to do a photo of, isn't it?
This popular board game is called Karom, similar to snooker in its objectives. Mr Ganley is a desert boy by nature. Most of his existence has been spent dwelling in the arid wastelands of the Australian continent. So as we continue to climb to higher elevations, the inevitable new experience is at hand.
Oh my god! It's snow! Yes! Snow! Look at it! Look at it! It's snow! Look at that! It's fucking deep! Oh my god! I'm gonna make snow, man. I'm gonna make snow, man. It's too hard!
Mr Ganley has not seen snow before. It's his first introduction up here in the mountains of the Himalaya. Oh, shit!
I threw a snowball!
As many of us are usually disillusioned by our first introduction to snow. It's cold, horrible, and sometimes extremely damp.
I thought it was supposed to be soft, fluffy shit.
At 3,500 metres above sea level, the township of Manang is a recommended multi-day stopover to allow the body to acclimatise to higher altitudes. From here on up to the Thorong Pass, altitude sickness becomes a real threat. The illness can be lethal if its symptoms are ignored. The only cure is to descend immediately to lower elevations.
Mr Ganley, you got anything to say about the architecture of this particular building?
I reckon if that crow up there lands on that building, the whole fucking thing will come down and they'll all start crying, oh, why? Why did he die? Because you didn't tear the fucking thing down.
Memories of Nepal.
Treacherous ice flows across the path. Mr Ganley proceeds with caution.
I think these might be our two hardest days, Mr Ganley. I reckon you're right, Mr Foreman. It's bloody freezing cold, windy. The altitude's getting to us.
And from Johnson down, it should be a breeze. Relatively speaking, that is.
We encounter a rather unexpected roadside tea house.
Who built this place? You build this? Did you build? No. Build, make. That's hard work. Where'd the wood come from, Manang? Oh, long way. On your head.
No, my lip is upside.
Oh, you have no trees?
Yeah.
Where's the wood?
Might go in the morning coming.
Alright.
We're making our way past the village of Thorong head to a small lofty guest house aptly named High Camp, perched at 4,800 metres above sea level. It's the uppermost launching point for crossing the Thorong La Pass to the valley beyond. The final leg proves very steep and challenging. The views, however, are spectacular. It's icy cold in the bunker at High Camp, with no fuel for a fire and no one willing to carry it for 2 days to get it here. It's still dark when we begin the final slog to cross the pass. Mr Ganley's endurance has been pushed to its limits.
He looks the same when he climbs up there, just because you see me on the video.
I'm at the Thorong La Pass, 5,400 and I can't remember metres above sea level, the world's highest pass.
That might not actually be true, but it sounds good for the video. Mr Ganley, however, might be inclined to believe it.
This better be the top form because I'm about to cry. Holy shit. Look at this fucking surfer over here. Carried twice on carry and he's flying up the fucking mountain. Fucking hell.
Oh, Mr Ganley, I'm really glad to be down off that pass. How did you enjoy your climb, Mr Ganley, throwing up this morning?
I didn't really. It was just hard work. I thought I was going to lose my toes to frostbite this morning. I was vomiting my guts up all morning. Yeah. It's a lot harder than I thought it'd be.
Rather splendid, wouldn't you say?
Sun is coming, it's good.
We're not congested by donkeys and sheep. The journey from Johnson down is much more civilised with easier and wider paths, though dusty and windy at times. Feeling stronger and warmer as we descend to lower elevations, there is one last climb to make before the journey ends, to the top of Poon Hill for one final look at the mountains of Annapurna. Nepal's second most populated regional centre and major tourist town. Set between a stunning lake and the jagged peaks of the Himalaya, a well-earned rest after our weary wanderings and time to contemplate our next destination. In the meantime, we'll watch a pig eat a rat.
That's a great gross photo. Killing rat, yeah.
Oh, he's not happy. You won't be happy either. Oh, you've been spewing.
Oh, that poor piggy.
Bad? Bad for stomach, yeah?
Mouse.
Mouse?
Yeah.
Yeah, no good.
No good.
Yeah, throw a mouse away then. Or maybe I could finish it. Shows your teeth.
In the next episode, Mr Ganley and myself embark on a quest in search of wild creatures. Savage bears, dangerous cats, rare rhinoceros and elephants. And what happened to Carney's tooth? Join us on the next instalment of A Foreign Excursion.